This is one of our itineraries. As you can see, the agencies will be able to customize it by adding their logo. Also, at the very bottom of each page, the agent's information, their email address, and their phone number will be added to each one of the pages. Now, if we go in closer, what you will see is the trip overview. This contains each one of the days of the vacation. Flight information, ground information, resort check-in, dining reservations are just some of the things that can be compiled into this overview. Really, it's anything that has a time associated with it. So I added fast passes to here. We know that that's probably going away, but for illustration's sake, I kept them. Next, as we scroll down, what we're going to see is a breakout and more detail of each day. So things like flight numbers, things like arrival times will be included in here. As we continue to go down, this is day 2. One of the things that I want to point out is this section, this data point, you can customize. You can label it however you want, and I will show you a little bit more of that once we get into the app. Now, as you know, there are many agencies that do detailed itineraries, and this is what you see here. So it's kind of a play-by-play of how this agent wants their client to go through the park, meaning Buzz Lightyear first, Astro Orbiters, and then you have things like fast passes, which are pulled out and pointed out with these icons. Anything, again, that has a time associated with it is going to have a little call out here on that left-hand side. Another thing that I just want to highlight is any of these entries you can add notes to. So if you're trying to tell your guest about Rise of the Resistance and you need to put a couple more notes in there, you can do that, and that's going to show up on the detailed part of the itinerary. Let me show you the app and how this information all gets into this beautiful itinerary. This is that same itinerary within the app. What you saw was the downloaded version of that PDF, and that's really what the agent is going to send the client as the end product. This is where the agent is going to create that itinerary. So as you can see, this is each component of that itinerary. And to show you a couple features here, over here on the left-hand side, you'll see each day called out. And so let's say we go to our Magic Kingdom day. Our agent says, you know what, I want my client to go to Fantasyland first, and so I want to add some attractions. All I need to do is begin writing Fantasyland. All of those attractions come up. What you'll also see is that there will also be restaurants included. Anything that's in that land is going to come up. So we'll pull Small World in there. Maybe they want to do Dumbo also, and the Mad Tea Party. And I can just add those in, and it's easy as click and pull. Another thing that I want to point out here that I think is a really very agent friendly is if our client wants to elongate their trip, they can add days, go in here, and what's going to happen is we're going to see those new day down here. Those are going to be blank. They can add as they see fit. And if the client decides that, you know what, never mind, I actually want to shorten my trip, if we do that, what's nice about this is that these days are not lost. So and instead of a pool day, they actually are going to go to Epcot on that day, or let's say they want to change their pool day between Disney Hollywood Studios and day 5. What's going to happen is that we're going to see this alert, which I think is super friendly for those agents. When we click on it, what's going to happen is we're going to see that these things were reservations, and these times need to either be reconfirmed or we need to go ahead and delete those activities. So in that way, it's super friendly to the agent. Another super friendly part of this is that it does have the height requirements for each of the attractions. Also, if an agent is newer and they're like, I forget what Rise of the Resistance is, there are links to the Disney website that's going to give them more information about those attractions or that restaurant. So What happens if you have resorts or activities, restaurants that are not included? You can create your own content library. So there's an agent content library and an agency content library. So if you know that, you're oftentimes going to Legoland and I don't have that content in there yet, you can create that content. Or if your agent knows that they always go to Colombia, um, off in Celebration, Florida, and they want Columbia already in there, they can add that also. The agency owners will have an agent page where they can manage all of their agents from. On my trips page, I can see my upcoming trips. Also, the past trips will be saved. To add a new trip, all I need to do is add a title. You can decide however you want to label them. Obviously, last name helps you search in the future. I select dates of travel, click the check mark, and off I go. Let's say I'm staying at the yacht club and I can just start dragging and dropping. This is going to ask for a room type, but off I go. I hope this gives you a little bit of an understanding of what the Practically Magic app can do, and I thank you for your time. Bye.